Hi, I'm Nancy Barrow, the engagement manager and podcast host for Connecticut Paid Leave. This is a new interview segment called 5 Minutes of Impact, short but powerful conversations with Connecticut Changemakers. And our changemaker today is Rashida Reid, the Education and Outreach Coordinator for the Connecticut Fair Housing Center. And the mission of the Connecticut Fair Housing Center is to ensure that all people have equal access to housing opportunities in Connecticut, free from discrimination. And welcome to 5 Minutes of Impact, Rashida.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here today.
Oh, we're happy to have you. Why don't we start out with a little bit about what the Connecticut Fair Housing Center is? What do you do, and who are you helping?
So we are a statewide civil rights nonprofit. And you just read our mission. We are really desirous of ensuring that everyone in our state has equal access to housing opportunities that are free from housing discrimination. We recognize that housing discrimination is unfortunately still happening. So organizations such as mine really work to educate individuals about their fair housing rights and to also advocate for individuals who have been discriminated against. We do offer foreclosure prevention services for our Connecticut homeowners who may be facing foreclosure. We offer an education and outreach initiative that is spearheaded by me. And really, my goal is just to ensure that everyone in the state knows that we exist and they are aware of the fact that they do have rights and protections under the Fair Housing Act. And we enforce the Fair Housing Act if we're able to see that discrimination has happened. We take that next step of ensuring that that person that has been discriminated against is made whole in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, it's lovely. Is there an initiative or a project that Connecticut Fair Housing Center is focused on right now?
Well, right now we are gearing up for our next legislative session, which will start in January. And one of the initiatives that we were working on this year was just cause eviction protections, which would expand eviction protections to everyone in the state. Right now, unfortunately, we are a no-fault eviction state, meaning that if you do not have a lease in place or you are on a month-to-month, you can be evicted due to that. Just cause eviction protections would expand protections for individuals and kind of make it imperative that there is a legitimate reason for an eviction that is filed. So that is probably something that's going to be very high on our radar in our upcoming legislative session in January.
And what are some of the Connecticut Fair Housing Center's future goals and priorities that you're looking at?
Honestly, we would love if housing discrimination was eradicated and we could all
Right.
pursue different hobbies. Um, but unfortunately, due to the nature and the insidiousness of housing discrimination, we have found that it often morphs with our attempts to eradicate it. Honestly, we just want to continue to work and let people know that they have rights and continue to encourage people to report housing discrimination when it's happening so that we can strengthen our federal and our state fair housing laws to be able to encompass everyone in our state.
And how can our viewers get in touch with the Connecticut Fair Housing Center?
Oh, that's a great question. So we have a wonderful website. You could reach us at ctfairhousing.org. Or if you feel like you have experienced discrimination, you can call us at 860-247-4400 to report that. We also have an online portal that you can report housing discrimination at, and that can be found on our website as well.
And what's one final thought that you would like our listeners to take away from today's conversation, Rashida?
That you do have the power to advocate for yourself. And there are organizations that are willing to help advocate for you. You deserve to live wherever you can afford to live without being discriminated against in housing transactions. So if you feel like that has happened or you are desirous of learning more about your fair housing rights, we encourage you to call us and reach out to us.
And can you give me the Connecticut Fair Housing Center's website one more time?
Absolutely. That is CT Fair, FAIR, housing, HOUSING.org.
Wonderful. Well, that's all the time we have on 5 Minutes of Impact. Short but powerful conversations with Connecticut Changemakers. And I want to thank our Connecticut Changemaker, Rashida Reid, the Education and Outreach Coordinator for the Connecticut Fair Housing Center, for joining us for this really important conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I'm Nancy Barrow, and for a deeper dive into Connecticut paid leave, please listen to the Paid Leave podcast on our website at ctpaidleave.org.